Hello and welcome to Darcy Sews, a place where we talk about knitting, sewing, quilting, and crafting. I'm Darcy and today is episode 1 of the Circular Sock Machine series. I'm going to start by introducing this series. It is about circular sock machines and more specifically 3D printing your own circular sock machine. I am going to be going on a journey of 3D printing my own circular sock machine and building it, and I wanted to take everybody along with me in case it's something that you're interested in as well. So this series will be posted most Fridays, but not all Fridays. I don't have an exact schedule yet because I will be making this in real time. So you guys will be going along the journey as I'm going along the journey with me. So that will be super fun. But that being said, it will be most Fridays in the coming weeks. The next episode out in this will be about beginning the printing process. So look for that next week. But before we go any further, let's talk about a brief history of circular sock machines. Before I dive too far into that, I just want to say that there are some great resources that people have already created on the topic that I'm going to link down below. Engineering Knits has a wonderful video and School of Sweet Georgia has a plethora of information about circular sock machines. But to just do a brief recap, it was invented after the flatbed knitting machine in the mid 1800s is when the circular sock machine was created. It came into popularity and was heavily used during World War I to make socks for soldiers. And then from there, we have a lot of vintage machines and not a lot of new ones, although it is becoming more popular now, I think. The first time I heard about circular sock machines, I had a very hard time finding information on it. But I think it's becoming easier and easier to find information now. So now we will talk about what I wanted to know when I first heard about circular sock machines. Where can you get one? So there are a lot of options. There are vintage CSMs, as we discussed, since they were heavily used during World War I. You can find them on Facebook groups, Facebook Marketplace, eBay, and I've heard people have found them in thrift stores as well. So if you're willing to hunt around, you can find some. I also found a website called CSMlove.com. And that was a great resource that had information about old machines being sold and even some new machines. So a lot of the new machines that I'm going to list here, I found through csmlove.com. So one of the most popular ones now that I hear about regularly is the Erlbacher knitting machine. If you are interested in an Erlbacher, that will run you from about $1,300 to about $2,000, just over $2,000. So it's definitely an investment, but it's a solid metal machine and it's built to last a lifetime or probably generations of lifetimes. So I would say that's a really good one if you have the money for it. There are a few others that I found through the website that I mentioned before. There is the Hokatita, which is in New Zealand. And that's running at the range of about $2,500. The lamb knitting machine is about $4,000. And then there's a 3D printed option that is for sale from Dean & Bean. Dean & Bean makes a 3D printed machine that ranges from $450 to $1,500, roughly $1,500. So that's definitely your best ticket in. The $1,500 is your all-in package. You get everything you could ever need. And then the $540 is just the sock machine itself. So if you are looking for a lower price entry into circular sock machine, that is an option for you. So we're going to move on to the last part of this video. It's not going to be a super long video, which is about 3D printing your own machine. I found a pattern from Steve Turner or Mr. Roboto 19 on Thingiverse. I found the pattern on Thingiverse and it has all the pieces, and he has an amazing YouTube channel that is filled with all the information you need to make your own 3D printed circular sock machine. There we go. I will be linking his YouTube video below, his YouTube channel below, so you can go down there, click, and watch his channels if you are also interested in it. And I will be using those as a reference throughout this process as I'm learning how to build my own. Once you have the plans, you of course need a 3D printer. And I know that can be a little bit concerning. We don't have a 3D printer at my house. So where can you get access to a 3D printer? That is the next question. My library has a 3D printer available at a few of the branches within the district. So I would say start there. Check your library, and not just the library that you specifically go to, but all of the branches with which your library card will work, and see if there's anything like that available. We have a few maker spaces at multiple of the library branches, and they have a lot of different things available to us. So the woodcutter machines, I can't think of the name of it, the Cricut machines, there's sewing machines and sergers. So there's a lot of things available right there at your library. There are also local maker spaces. If you live in a big city, you might be able to get a membership to a maker space that will give you access to a 3D printer. And then outside of that, there are services that will 3D print for you. You send them the files and they will have it printed and they will send it back to you. I do want to caveat that this is not cheap. This is not a cheap option. I kind of priced a few out just to see what it would cost. And honestly, if you just want a 3D printer, a 3D printed circular sock machine, if that's what you're looking for, I would probably go with the Dean & Bean machine at that point. But if you want to have the process of building it, and that's important to you, then you can look into having it printed through a service. And you'll have to let me know if there's any services. I have listed a few, and I will just have some listed. I'll have a website listed below that goes through some of the best printing services to use online. It's called all3dp.com. And they have a list there. So you can click on that link and you can look at it. And if you know of any other ones that prints for cheaper, please let me know. One other resource I found is some UPS stores have 3D printers where you can use that for a set price. I did not look into it because we didn't have that in my area. So if it's in your area, please let me know. But that is all that I have today. The next video coming up, like I said, will be about some of the 3D printing that I'm going to be doing here soon. And then after that, it will go into building, and then we will go into learning how to use it and probably failing. I know there's going to be a big learning curve around it. It sounds like it's going to be like you think, oh, 3D printing, circular sock machine, like you just crank it and you make it too. But I know that there's so much more to it than that. And that a lot of the people that I've read in the resources online love love circular sock machines. Oh my goodness. They love circular sock machines and the whole process around creating a sock in a tube. So we're going to go through that together. We're going to learn together. And I'm very excited about it because I think it's just going to be so much fun. I've also always wanted to use a 3D printer. So it's a good excuse to kind of do a little bit of everything. So that being said, I'm going to leave this here today. If you are new to this channel and you're excited about watching this series, please like and subscribe down below. I'd love to have you. And if you're returning, well, welcome back. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for stopping in today. Bye.